All right, here we go. First, okay. Hello. Hey guys, this is Shana and welcome to my vlog. This is my first one, and so I'm trying to think of like what I want to like say or express or put out there, and I guess I just kind of want to start with my story. So poetry has always been something that's super important to me ever since I can remember. I, in typical artist fashion, believed that there was no way to make money out of the arts. I didn't come from a rich family. I didn't come from a background of connections, and so I just thought when I graduated high school, okay, like, you know, I haven't been like discovered, or like, you know, that thing that happens to like people who make it hasn't happened to me, and so it probably never will. So I thought, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna like get a career and then like be good to go and have a nice life. Being the first in my family to go to college, that was a big deal. And so I went, I graduated, and basically I was kind of unsure of what I wanted to do with my life, because my passion literally from when I can remember, and even like my parents say, was like taking notebooks and opening them up and writing stories and writing poems. Like even in college, in the back of the room during classes, I would like be like scribbling like stanzas and like thinking of different rhyme schemes and like reading other poetry. It's just like always like been there for me. And it's funny because for a little while I was like, oh, I want to be, you know, like a doctor. And then I realized like that in the classes I was taking to become a doctor, I was literally like spacing out and in the back of my notebook like writing poems. I ended up being a teacher for a little while, and I really didn't like it. Like mainly I think because like I'm such an introverted person, and with that career you really have to, like, in my opinion, have a passion for it and be like somewhat extroverted, and I didn't have either of those things. And so I was like miserable. I went to another job. I was like a manager of a restaurant for a while. Like, didn't like that. Oh my god, that was so bad. I remember seeing on the street someone who was writing poems for people, and I remember thinking like, that is so freaking cool. Like, that is so awesome. Like I would love to do that. I don't have the guts, and I don't have, like, you know, the ability probably. So I just kind of always had it in the back of my mind. And sometimes in life you have to lose something really huge in order to realize that you're lost. I was working in a school, and my misery became so bad that I would be getting up at 6 a.m. because that's the time I had to get up to get to work all the time. Wake up in bed, cry. Like, not just like one single solitary tear, but like bawling, like to the point where like I would be like late, and I'm like a professional person. Like, so that was my red flag, and I literally just said, I am done. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna like pay for my rent, my bills. I don't know, but I am done being miserable, and I resigned. And everybody was like, you're giving up so much. You're giving up a career. You're giving up health insurance. You're giving up like so much. And I have always like believed that life meets you where it needs to. And what I mean by that is, like, you might think that you should stay on one path because it makes sense, but like if it's not right for you, like, you get one life. Like, Steve Jobs said, you are completely naked. You have nothing to lose. So like if you are that miserable and you are lucky to be able to change paths, because sometimes life doesn't let you for whatever circumstances, right? But if you're lucky enough to change paths, then you should do it. And I've always believed that. And also I was like sick of being miserable. So it was like both of those things created like a little bomb, and like, I was like so done. By the way, I'm like really dramatic. So I try to tell this in like a very like objective, logical way, but like I'm just a dramatic person. I'm a poet. So basically was like, well, I have nothing. I like have my savings, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And the only thing that made sense to me, the only thing that I still loved was poetry. And so I made a sign that said, pick a subject and price, get a poem. And I basically went to the street with the sign, a $20 IKEA table, $10 folding chair, and a notebook. And I was like, I want to write poems for people. It completely changed my life. And you know, I like to this day, I still remember like setting up in different places and like being harassed and like getting bullied and getting yelled at and being told that like a girl, you know, a woman should not be on the street like that. So I remember the first day that I set up, and like it was hot, it was summertime, and I like set up in downtown Manhattan on a corner, got yelled at by a security person who said I couldn't be there, then I had to move like 10 feet, so I moved, and I had like 1 or 2 customers in like 4 hours. I think I probably made like 20 bucks or something, like not even. And I had never felt alive until that day. Whew. And it's crazy because like as I'm like saying this stuff, it's making me like think out loud and realize things in retrospect that I did not realize before. And I remember like, I think it was like Steve Harvey who said he entered like a comedy competition, and he lost. And he had a date that night, and him and his date were in the car driving on the way home, and he said he started like bawling, and his date goes, you lost, like why are you like crying these like happy tears? And he looked at her and said, because I'm born again. And I don't know, that really resonated with me. And so I was like thinking that day in the blazing summer New York City heat, this is what I'm gonna do. This like means so much to me because I like love art. I love poetry. There has always been something deep in me that has wanted to make poetry accessible to everyone. Like I want everyone to realize like how beautiful poetry can be. And I know it's like a little naive, but there's like a little piece of like hope like tucked somewhere like in me that despite everything I've seen in life, that believes that like words have the power to change everything, to change the world. That day I made a decision that I was going to like make it work. As life does, you know, it pushed me back a little bit, and it was like, nah, like this is not what you're gonna do. It doesn't make sense. You know, you've asked people in your life and they're like, you need to chill, like you're not 15, you know, you need to like find something real. I'll be honest, I spent a lot of time setting up in different places, right? Wanting to share my poetry and like failing so hard. All right, sorry about that pause. So I quit. And I was like, I'm going to market online. I'm gonna stick with the poetry because I believe in it, but I'm going to find a way to spread my poems like with internet marketing. And again, life was like, I don't think so. What ended up happening was that I couldn't figure it out. I'm sure there is a way to figure it out, but like I couldn't figure out like how to make my poetry go viral. And I didn't have the tools or the money to figure it out. So, I was like, all right, I don't know how to do this. And you can't share your poetry with the world when the only people who care about it are like your friends and family. And so I was like, God, like what do I do? And I was depressed. I was tired. I was like heartbroken, honestly. Like I was like, do I go back to teaching? Do I like pursue something else? Like, is it time to like give it up? The only thing I could think of during that time was like how much I missed writing poems for people. Yeah, there were days when I wasn't making money. Yeah, there were like a lot of negatives about it. Being Korean and like coming from a culture where like you do care about your reputation and you do really care, like human nature, right? But particularly, you do care about what people think of you. I was just like a heartbroken girl. And the only thing that made me happy was not partying, not drinking, not mingling, not going out with friends. Like was remembering when I did write poems for people who got it. There are some people who will get your craft and get what you're trying to do in the world. As an artist, like you live for those moments. Because like the point of your art, yes, it is for you, but it is for other people. And so when you meet people who like understand it and like appreciate it, like there's like literally like nothing better. And so I remember that and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go back out there. I'm gonna set up in different places and I'm gonna keep doing it because I have nothing to lose. Nothing. And so I started doing it and something weird started to happen. People started being receptive. People started coming up to me and telling me their stories, telling me about how they wanted a poem about the love that they lost, telling me about how they wanted a poem about the company that they're starting and how it's been rough. And people just started in front of me to open up like flowers blossoming. And I was so moved. Not only that, because, let's be real, as an artist, you can be moved all you want, but like being moved doesn't pay your bills. Being complimented doesn't pay your bills. Like, and people started like donating more to me. And I started to actually literally have like lines, around the corner and flash forward. And now I'm at a point where like I'm booked to do my poetry like in art galleries. Like I'm booked to do my poetry at like various like Valentine's Day events, from private cocktail tastings to dinners to after parties to anniversaries to weddings. Like Valentine's Day 2020 was one of the best days of my life because from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. I didn't eat, I didn't take a break. I was working events that whole day. And I came home, put down my typewriter, put down my sign, fell on my bed and like started crying. Like I am officially making my living from my art. I never thought that was possible. Casey Nasdaq said, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He said, when you're a creator, all you need is your phone, a Wi-Fi connection, or data, and an idea. And like, that is so true. And so what I want to vlog is every beautiful thing that I have seen and that I continue to see in terms of sharing my poetry with people. I want to show you guys all of the amazing individuals I meet. I want to share with you their stories, and I want to share with you like my poetry and this amazingly beautiful life that I've been lucky enough to have. I want to do all of that. My main goal is to be a place of hope for other artists who are being told that like their work doesn't matter, that their dreams are invalid, that their desires are impossible to reach. Like, I want to like be there to tell you that like that is not true. I just want to prove that like a woman and a woman of color can create art, can make their living off of their art, and can make their own rules. And so that's what I want to show you and to prove and to be. And so that's my vlog, and that's my goal. And I'm just really excited to share that with people. What mostly inspired me was the fact that I'll have so many like cool moments in a day with like meeting a stranger who has this like crazy life story. And I'm just like, you know, looking at this person and like listening to them, and like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm the only one who gets to see this and to hear this. And like, you know, I'm in New York, and like everyone is here, every type of person, like, and I want to let other people see that. Like, I wish I could like share my eyes with people, and so I think this vlog will be a really cool way to do that. And so that's me, that's my story, and I really hope to share more with you guys soon. I love you, and thank you for watching. I will catch you guys later.